All right, good evening. I'm Ryan Smith.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lynn Berry, and we're going to begin this hour with two major developing stories: a vote any moment on the debt ceiling and the government shutdown. And we're about to hear from the Missouri prosecutor in that teenage rape case we've been telling you about for the last few days. Stand by for that. But first, we want to tell you about the hearing. We're hearing that there may be a vote that could happen on the Hill before 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's about an hour from now. Let's bring in Jason Johnson. You know, we've been talking earlier that this could happen, quote unquote, after dinner. Right. Obviously, the Senate being the first hurdle that this bill would have to overcome. It's just really, we're just waiting to see when this may come down. After dinner, could that mean 6 o'clock? Could that mean 7 o'clock? So it's really within the next hour that we're expecting.
And so the waiting game continues with the American people. So many people out of jobs, wondering what's going to happen. The debt ceiling approaching, that decision approaching. And so what will be in this deal? And then the other issue will be, how will this deal go down? Who will put forth the vote first, and will it be passed? And what will be in that deal?
And if it passes the Senate, what's going to happen in the House? You know, we talked to Jason Johnson in the last hour, and he talked about these three possibilities. Okay, it passes in the Senate, and then it passes in the House, goes to the president. Whether or not the House has a deal, sends it to the Senate, and then it goes to the president. And then that third possibility, that third door, that's the catastrophic possibility, that no deal is reached, and we hit that deadline at midnight tonight. And then what are we faced with? You see there that calendar. October 17th, and the clock is ticking. Right. We continue to wait for that vote in the Senate. We want to bring in Jason Johnson, our HLN political analyst. Jason, what are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing that they're going to do the vote tonight. It really shouldn't go off with too much fanfare. The main concerns that anyone had on the Republican side, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Mike Lee, all of those guys have said, look, we're not going to stand in the way of this. We're not going to vote for it, but we're not going to stand in the way for it. So I think the vote's going to go through this evening, and they may be able to get it to the House later on tonight.
And, Jason, with all this wrangling, days and days and days it's gone on, what kind of compromises do we expect to see?
I don't think there's much compromise right now. I think the deal that we have is the deal that we're going to have. What's been happening thus far is the Senate would end up passing a bill, and it would go to the House, and John Boehner, as Speaker of the House, would simply not bring the bill up to a vote. That goes back to our sort of schoolhouse rock and civics lessons, that one of the powers of the Speaker of the House is if he doesn't want a bill to go forward, he would just not bring it forward. So there's not going to be much negotiation, because John Boehner has said, if the Senate gives me a bill, I will put it in front of the House to vote. I won't stop it.
But let's talk about what John Boehner said today also. He basically said, guys, we lost. They haven't even gotten this deal to them to have a vote to lose. But was he sending a message, and what message was he sending to the rest of his guys in the House?
Look, he was sending the message that this was a dumb idea to begin with. You know, one of the things about John Boehner, and he's been in a difficult position the whole time, that he made it abundantly clear the math is not in our favor, Republicans, for trying to do anything against the Affordable Care Act. He said that from the very beginning. But because he's actually a not particularly good Speaker of the House, he wasn't able to wrangle his own caucus together to go for a better strategy. So he's acknowledging something that everybody knew 16 days ago before this shutdown, before we were ahead of the debt ceiling. Now he's just stating the obvious.
All right, Jason Johnson, stand by. Keep us up to date. Anything happens, you hear anything about the vote, let us know. We'll come right back to you.
Thank you.
All right, now let's head to Maryville, Missouri, where the county prosecutor